my favorite topics is about influencers. Sometimes they happen in a moment. Sometimes they happen a lifetime. When I speak, I generally talk about this subject. I'll remember my grandfather, my grandmother, my mom, my aunt were from Kiev, and they moved to Canada. And I remember him taking me for walks in the park in Montreal. And one day he talked to everybody, which is obviously must be where I got it from. But and one day I asked him, I called him Zeta, how do you know all these people? And he said, "Well, you see that guy over there?" One day I smiled at him, and he looked up and saw it and smiled at me and came over to me and we started talking, and then things happened and this and that, and then someone else saw us talking like that and came over to us, and I thought, as a 5-year-old, well, the world's pretty simple, just smile. Um,
Mhm.
and then you start getting older and you realize it's brilliant because things like that can be powerful, even a simple thing to be influential. So we all have had lots of influences in our lives. I'm sure you as well. Can you share two or three that have influenced you?
Let's see, being influenced by other people. So I mean, I have my sort of partner, Yvonne. So she's influenced me in many ways. And I'll give you, let's say, one specific example.
Hmm.
So when we just got together as boyfriend and girlfriend, we ended up living together after, I think, 2 weeks, just because it was France and it was just convenient. And it was also testing living with another human without any intention of it carrying on.
Hmm.
After a week of doing that, we had an argument about a frozen pizza. It was basically, I put it in the fridge. She said, "How do you do that? You crazy? You're going to kill people." Okay, so I did classic male response, at least in my father and my stepfather, is that I was sulking and I went into the bedroom and I just didn't say anything. So she came in. She said, "Mark, what's wrong?" I said, obviously, first my response, nothing is wrong. This was not an acceptable answer. So she said, "No, something's wrong. Tell me what it is." So I gave second response, which is, "I don't know." At this point, she demonstrated her evil mastermind's genius, not evil, but like
Right.
good. Because she said, "Okay, we haven't known each other for very long, but you seem like you're a smart guy. If you're as smart as I think you are, then I'm sure you can figure it out. And once you figured it out, then you can decide if you want to tell me." Brilliant. Because then it meant that, first of all, I've got been given an intellectual challenge. Am I smart? Oh, God. Okay, fine. Figured it out. So now I've figured it out. Now the thing is, though, do I want to tell her? Well, clearly I have a reference model, a patterned influence from the past. I have what my father and my stepfather did, and that was say nothing. And that's what I'm doing now. But it's obviously not working saying nothing. I have no idea if I say something, and I have no intention of being with this person for more than whatever, another month or two, certainly at the time. Now it's been 33 years. But so right now, based on that, I will then give myself a test, an experiment to actually share. And so with that, I realize that I will always be able to find the answer and then I can always say it. So that for me was an extremely profound influence that basically deprogrammed me from the male influences that I had before.
I love it, and I think it showed that there's a reason women should be more in charge. Um,
Absolutely, with the future, like our world should be a lot more female. We
yeah,
will all benefit from it. So I think it's been a male world for what, 10,000 years? It's definitely time for us to stop.
exactly.
Really.
I 100% agree. Whether it's on family, business, or peace, they're the ones that'll make it happen. Anyone
Yeah.
else you'd want to share that's been an influence on you?
Who else would be a good influence?
How
Actually,
about
so I mean, I put my father would be an influence as well, but more from the opposite perspective.
right? Well, that's an
So
influence. Yeah.
he was the CFO, financial controller, always cared about the pennies, decimal places, and yet whenever he whatever I divorced my from my mother, moved to Canada, moved to America, every time he did a major thing, he lost about 20 or 30% of his wealth.
Hmm.
So he cared about the tiny things and he missed the bigger picture every single bloody time.
Yeah.
And so that for me, and also he had this uncanny, whatever, family way that he would always say the wrong thing. Always. Like there's 10 good things to say. He just picked the wrong thing.
So he
So,
actually should have stuck to the say nothing then.
yes, I mean, saying nothing would have been better. At least my mother had influence. She said, like, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Right.
Good saying.
Mhm.
So right now, then, for me, that meant particularly when I was going off to do business, instead of me, like say, really caring about every single penny coming in and like, look at upside, look at growth. How do we get in? And so it's all very well if we manage to whatever we've managed to make a $1.2 profit, but if we do it properly, we can make $1 million profit. So let's just do a bigger thing. So that gave me just a sort of let's say again opposite influence.
No, I love it. And influence, we all should realize that we're influencing people all the time. And to your point, it's our choice if we want to be positive or the alternative. And it seems
Yeah,
like it should be a pretty easy answer to go to the positive. And teachers see that a lot. Where I don't know if you ever remember the movie Mr. Holland's Opus, and with he was a
I
teacher.
remember the name, but I can't remember seeing it.
He was a music teacher, and he realized at the end how many people he had really influenced because he didn't really know if he was making an impact, and there was hundreds
Mhm.
that he
Yeah,
had in that respect. So, hey, I really appreciate you sharing that, and way to go, Yvonne. Nice job in making you what you are now.
thank you, thank you. And still
Thank
more.
you.
I'm work in progress.
We all are. Thanks.